It's Tim Brown. Today I'm doing this one alone, mainly because I just sprang the topic on Tracy, and I think he was like, well, you can do that one then. Well, we're talking about my favorite entrepreneurial operating system, EOS and traction, if you're part of a small business or if you're planning on being part of a small business. This is a super useful book, but I will say I read this as an employee and I did not care for it at all. So it is, this is really for entrepreneurs. Claire is going to join us just for a little bit because I'm going to talk to her directly. How are you, Claire? I miss you. I hope Florida is amazing. So we're talking the importance of weekly all-team meetings. In EOS traction, weekly all-team meetings are referred to as level 10 meetings, and I'm going to kind of go through why I think a weekly all-team meeting is good. Normally, this whole live thing is about marketing, and I would say this is more on the management side, and I don't necessarily know what I'm doing on management per se. But I have learned a couple things along the way here, and I'm going to share those for the next, let's say, 3-4 weeks. I'm going to be talking traction, EOS. I think some people that follow these lives, their business is on EOS or traction. It's a book called Traction, and it's basically a very good operating system for small businesses. It's got a lot of basics in there. I love Traction because it gives you kind of this tool, or these tools, this set of tools that any just idiot could use to run a small business. Now, I really do think it's a super useful book though. So if you run a small business or you are part of a small business, I strongly recommend checking it out. So the main reason that level 10 meetings or all team meetings are really good is that you get things out on the table that otherwise would turn into different meetings throughout the week. So if you have problems, you list them at the, as part of the meeting, and you figure out how to solve those things. And otherwise, people think that's too much time, an hour or an hour and a half for everyone in the team. Think about that. If you have 10 people, that is 20 or 10 hours or 15 hours or whatever, right? So total, it's a lot of time, but it gets stuff out on the table that otherwise that might turn into meetings later, or you might turn into big problems later in the week, or even small problems that take up a bunch of time, right? The second thing is an all team or a level 10 meeting keeps everyone aware of other stuff that people are working on. And I found that this is really important in small business because you don't want people resenting other people because they're not getting stuff done or things like that. So I think keeping people posted on what the other people on the team are doing is super useful for a level 10 or all team meeting. And then the third thing, I just want to give a sample of what our level 10 or all team meeting looks like in case you're considering doing this. So our level 10 meeting includes, we read our core values, our vision, our mission, and we go through each person's key activities for that week and their goals. We go through execution score for the previous week and how everyone did, what your intention is. We get feedback. We talk through all team to-do items and to-do items that were from the past week and for the next week. And then we talk through issues. So what problems do we have now? Let's get those out all on the table. And we do an identify, discuss, solve, or the IDS track for any problems that people have or issues. And we do a pipeline report for our sales guy to tell us, hot and warm leads, estimated next couple of weeks closes. We talk through this, we just added this. We're also talking through employee satisfaction, and as well, we're talking through how to increase our effectiveness, and we're getting ideas out on the table every single week at this level 10 or all team meeting. So you got your pipeline, you got your to-do items, you got all these things. And then lastly, we do what's been working well. So we write out on the whiteboard what's been working well. I really like this idea of focusing on what's working well as well in these meetings, because otherwise, if you just talk about problems, those tend to reproduce themselves if you focused on them. So to me, it's also about focusing on what's working really well in the company. And then our team, we do a little bit of encouragement at the end of the level 10. So all of this is from the book Traction, and then we modified it a little bit. But I really strongly suggest these all team meetings to get things out on the plate, to have everyone look at them and say, hey, how can you help? And sometimes it's completely different departments, right? How can this side of the business help this side of the business? How can we mix it up? How are your to-do items going? Having accountability every single week for the things you got done and the key goals. So Traction is amazing. The EOS system is awesome. We love level 10s. We strongly suggest you try them in your small business. And like I said, it just gets everything out on the table, make sure that everyone's clear on what's going on. And I think that I'm going to continue this EOS and Traction series for the next month or so. Just kind of sharing this. This has been a really strong positive in our business to have Traction. It's just about getting people all moving in the same direction. So another big improvement this past quarter was making sure we had four very clear goals for the business, and that everybody else set their goals based on those 4 goals. They set their quarterly goals based on them, and then they have weekly goals that are based on those quarterly goals. So you can see the business goals, then the quarterly goals, then the weekly goals, and it all kind of boils down from our business goals. And that's how you get traction. That's how you get everybody moving in the same direction. So the goals are all kind of compounding, and you get those compounding benefits like investing, you know what I mean? So anyways, like I said, I'm not a management consultant, but EOS and Traction has been super helpful for our business. I'm just going to kind of share the key components to EOS and Traction over the next 4 weeks, kind of in, alternative to just my marketing focused lives here. But I hope this stuff is useful for you guys, and say hi in the comments on Facebook or on Instagram. Hope you guys are having an amazing day, and do a little bit more of what you love this week. Just a little bit, just 1% more of what you love this week, and maybe just improve 1% this week. That's all it takes. And I hope you're doing as well, Mom. Thanks. See, everyone go follow my mom. She's down here on Instagram, Mama Brown. She is so supportive. Hey, not everyone has that, and I'm so grateful for a mom that supports me and tells me that I'm awesome all the time. That's how I got this ego, guys. That's how I got this healthy self-esteem. All right. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. All right. Bye.